Alright, what an interesting day today. So, I asked you guys in the comment sections to give me questions about 50k subscribers, the Q&A for the 50k subscribers, and that video is going to be this one. Halil is, as you guys saw, literally on the way. He's probably going to ring the doorbell right now. Yes, he did. So, right now we're going to answer your questions about the 50k subscribers. I have like 30-40 questions picked. Well, open the door for my friend, and let's just dive right into it. 49,999. So, we are at pretty much 50k subscribers now.
And it's been 50k just now.
Halfway of the goal that I wanted to set for it for a long time, and I feel great actually. I feel great. Halil, would you like to put one more 0 to 50? Yeah, it was fake. We hit like 50k a few days ago, so.
Happy 50k to you. Happy 50k to you. It's literally chicken and rice with a candle on top to celebrate this huge milestone. As you can see, our cake. He's eating like a monster.
Oh, bro, it's too hot. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, as we promised before, this is going to be the 50,000 subscriber Q&A video. First of all, in the first round we have rapid questions, so Halil is going to ask me some questions and I have to answer them really fast. And then I'm going to dive deep into your questions that you sent me in the comment sections of a community post. So let's just get started.
Okay, tea or coffee?
Tea or coffee? Coffee.
Ronaldo or Messi?
Ronaldo.
Okay, football or boxing?
Boxing.
Khabib or McGregor?
Khabib. I was gonna say McGregor. Bro, that was gonna be a habit.
I was gonna kill. Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Okay. If you could choose one for the rest of your life, kickboxing or weightlifting?
Rest of my life.
Rest of your life.
Bro,
you can only do one of them.
It's gonna be weightlifting, unfortunately.
Okay.
Ah, that's not a good. Oh.
Early morning deep work or late night deep work?
Early morning deep work, for sure.
Spending time with your girlfriend or in the gym with the boys?
Gym with
Be
the
honest.
gym with the boys.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Gym with the boys.
Okay. Studying at home or in a coffee shop?
Studying at home, definitely.
Alright. Popeyes or KFC?
KFC.
McDonald's or KFC?
KFC.
Alright.
KFC fried chicken, bro.
What's your favorite book?
My favorite book, Quran.
What?
The Quran.
The Quran, okay. What's your favorite exercise?
Incline number press.
Okay, incline number press. What's your favorite English word?
That's basically, like the joke behind this is basically. You've seen that? You've seen that?
He always uses the word basically like about 8 times in a video per minute.
English is my second language. Like I speak 3 languages. He speaks 3 languages, and when especially 2 years ago when I was like making videos that were in English, I would use the word basically all the time, like all the time, and it was like a joke in between where people would call me basically when they saw me, and it was like,
Right.
It is what it is.
What's your favorite German word? For me, it would be also.
Schmetterling.
Schmetterling. What's your favorite Turkish word?
Never thought about these questions, but I'm not gonna like. What the hell? Let's say Iskender. Put a picture of Iskender.
Oh, it's a meal. It's a meal. Is your bed made right now? Like, is your bed?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Wanna show that real quick?
No. I think they will trust you.
Every morning, bro. Absolutely.
Right. If you could afford any car right now, which one would you drive?
Any car.
Yes.
I would get like a Bugatti Chiron, like the most expensive one, sell it, use 1/10 of the money to get another supercar, I use 9/10 of the money.
No, you can't sell it. You will have
you
to
can't
drive
sell it.
You will have to drive it, yes.
Again.
Would your 12-year-old self think that you are cool?
I think so.
Alright.
I think so.
Fair enough. Shower at night or in the morning?
At night, for sure.
Dude, what the fuck? What's your favorite movie of all time?
I'm not gonna say like.
Are you happy?
Are you happy? The easiest questions, the simplest questions are actually the most difficult ones. For the last couple of weeks, no. Beforehand, I felt more happy.
Okay, happier.
Happier. I felt happier.
Yeah. Okay, so let's continue with your guys' questions. How important is NoFap, and can you give some tips to achieve it?
So when it comes to NoFap, I think the reason why it's very important is because, one, you have more time throughout your day, two, you have more mental clarity throughout your day, and I haven't made videos about NoFap because I feel like me talking about that topic is going to be much more uncomfortable for me, maybe because of my family, maybe because of the fact that I don't want to talk about some certain things. Like, I haven't like talked about my relationship at all, like last year, to be honest. Like, I'm going to make a video about that soon, but it's going to be not about my relationship, about like relationships and self-improvement and how it goes, basically. So I haven't made really videos about NoFap, but the way to go is basically you just progressively deload. In the gym, we have the idea of progressive overload, which is you, for example, lift 20 kg. The next month, you go and lift 22 kg. The next month, you go and lift 24 kg. And when it comes to progressive deloading, when it comes to NoFap, if you do it 5 times a week, you next 2 weeks you try to do it, for example, 4 times a week, and it goes like this, down, down, and down, and then you slowly break that addiction because you don't want to give more reps to that bad addiction. You want to take reps from it so that it gets progressively weaker.
Right. What advice would you give to your 16-year-old self?
16-year-old self.
So like 16-year-old Ahmed when he was just beginning his self-improvement journey. And also there are like 5 different questions about this, but I'm gonna try to combine them to one. And what was the biggest mistake you made when you were just starting your self-improvement journey? And also how and why? Like why did you start? These were like about 6 different questions, but I sort of combined.
Figuring out about self-improvement, 1. 2, a small breakup, which when I look back now didn't mean much at all, to be honest. But that's me being able to say that a few years later. And that's the reason why I started self-improvement. And in the beginning, when I started self-improvement, it wasn't like, I'm gonna get stronger, I'm gonna get like much more, I'm gonna make more money, I'm gonna do all this, and then come back to that person, for example, or to come back to the people who talked bad about me. No, it was like, I figured out Matt Devella's videos. He was talking about journaling, he was talking about meditation. I was like, oh, that's cool, let me try that out. And then it slowly progressed into what it is right now, where I talk about self-improvement myself, for example. But in the beginning, I had no intentions like that. But when I started, like, at 16, when it comes to YouTube, my biggest regret is the fact that I started giving advice to people at the age of 16, whereas I should have been documenting my journey from the age of 16 until now, and that would have meant that I would have made much more progress, as well as I would have already documented my journey for the last 3 years, and right now I would be sitting in a position where I have already documented a lot of stuff. Now I'm slowly starting the documenting process, and I know that I'm just going to be documenting for the next 3 years, whereas I would have been not done, but like made a shitload of progress in the past. I think that's my biggest regret. Also, my second biggest regret is that I've never really kept myself too accountable when it comes to my goals. I love self-improvement, I love setting myself goals, I loved make progress fast enough. Instead, what I should have done was, I should have sat down every single month in the beginning of the month and analyzed last month. And I told myself, yeah, these are the lessons I took from last month, and I should have implemented those lessons. Actually made actual progress very fast. And I think that was one of the reasons why I made slower progress than people, because I didn't know. I just didn't know.
Thank you. If you were at the place of your audience, if you were a person from your audience, what question would you ask to yourself, and what's the answer of that?
I would ask myself, not like a question of like, how did you do this? I would ask the question of, you were talking about how you were going to change the videos on the main channel to the journey videos all the time, and you were talking about that for a long time. Why didn't you do that? Like, I would ask that question, because I think that's one of my faults and weaknesses. And as you guys have realized, like, maybe this video is a little different, but every single video is basically like the journey videos right now, or that's what I've changed into documenting. But I've been talking about documenting for the last 1 year, but I've just started implementing it a month ago. So I would ask myself about that. Why did you do that like 11 months later, instead of at the exact point?
Yeah, that would be a good question as well. And are you religious?
Am I religious? So I'm gonna make 2 videos when it comes to religion. I was personally a more religious person a few years ago, and I feel like I've lost it. One of the reasons being my high school being like with people completely who were non-religious, and my friends were, most of them, except like Halil and people like Halil, and most of them were completely non-religious. So I'm gonna start praying every single, like 5 times a week, 5 times a day, and that's like one of the videos. It's gonna be on the main channel. It's gonna be like, I started praying 5 times a day. and then you get started with your day. You do your work, you have your breakfast, you go to the gym, and then you have, for example, the midday prayer. Like, it goes like that, and then after the last one, you go to sleep. Like, it literally dictates your life and your productivity. You wake up early because you have to pray. You wake up at 5 a.m. because you have to do that. And I think how you do that is you let prayers basically dictate your life. You can become incredibly productive if you do that. Like, if you wake up at 5 a.m. every single day because of the fact that you have to pray and then you don't go back to sleep, you continue working, like, of course you're going to be so much fucking productive.
Why do you ignore your girl audience?
Woman audience. So,
female audience, yeah.
Female audience will be better. So, for a long time, maybe I still do, I thought my YouTube channel was mainly for young men, right? And I still do think that most of my advice is going to be for young men, because I, again, still do think that female self-improvement and male self-improvement are completely different things. They basically rely on a different idea. I think a young man's value comes from the things that he achieved, the promises that he kept to himself, the proof that he can show, the progress that he made. But when it comes to a woman, when it comes to a lady, for example, it's not really like that. So when I say, for example, oh, you should be focusing on your fitness and finances for the next 2 years, that advice might be shitty for women. Literally, that advice might be shitty for women. But for a man, that's like the greatest advice ever. So the advice that I give is actually mostly for men, for young men, for own self-improvement. But at the same time, if I'm talking about something that's like, oh, you can use this productivity trick, that's like, everybody can use that. I'm a 19-year-old girl, I want to learn more about self-improvement. I found about this guy, he makes like vlogs where he shows his productive days. Like, you can watch that, that's probably valuable to you.
Yeah, the lo-fi study girl or someone like that has asked the same question as you were talking about, like a 15-year-old girl starting her business next year as SMMA.
SMA.
What's that? I don't know.
That's the agency model.
Okay.
Business model.
And who is new to self-improvement, what advice would you give her?
Yeah, for example, like, these type of questions, I'm 15, I'm starting my SMA, I need to see proof. You can't just say, for example, I'm starting SMA, and like, I can say I'm starting the next Hollywood.
I'm sorry.
You can start the next, you can start your SMA and say, for example, 5 months from now, I'm making $2 grand a month. And like, what should I do next? Probably a couple of things that you should do when you're starting an SMA, I don't know. Watch people who are doing it successfully, learn what they say, look at what they say, and actually implement them, and work harder than everyone else in your category in SMMAs, and you're probably going to succeed. Like, that's the idea of like success. You listen to people who succeeded, and you take their advice, and you actually implement them carefully, and work harder than other people. And that's how you succeed. How do I play the guitar? Like, learn how to play the guitar, practice all the time. Like, is it difficult? No.
And also, like, he doesn't know the answers to all questions in the world. I mean, for example, there are a lot of people who are asking, what is the purpose of life? Like, what's the purpose of life? And another question is how to find your purpose in life. That's a bit
maybe I can, for that question I can say, yeah. In order for you to find your purpose in life, 1, I don't know, 2, you need to listen to yourself, and you need to listen to yourself carefully. And in order for you to listen to yourself carefully, you need to remove the distractions. If you're on your phone 24/7, if you have like 7 hours of screen time, how the fuck are you going to listen to yourself? For example, if you can afford it, rent a nice Airbnb, alone, yourself, go into the woods, take a pen and paper with yourself, and literally journal for 3 days. I think you can listen to yourself then. Don't take your phone with you. If you take your phone with you, just turn it off. Don't use it for 3 days. If you can't afford that, for example, just sit at your room for a day and don't go out of your room except like for eating or like to go to the toilet. Nothing else. That's how you listen to yourself. And without listening to yourself, how are you going to find the purpose of your life?
Simon asked how to deal with a loss of a loved one.
First of all, I have to say, like, I'm sorry for that, but 2, like maybe a parent, God forbid, maybe a previous girl, or like maybe someone in my family. Like, I haven't really lived that, so I don't know, to be honest, the answer. I can just only say I'm sorry.
How you dealt with judgment from others when you were bald and ugly and had acne in your face?
Oh, that's a good question, bro. So the reason why I shaved my head was because I wanted to see the judgment of other people, right? I wanted to see the judgment of other people. At the same time, the time that I shaved my head, and actually the head was bald at the time as well, that was specifically the time that I had the worst acne. So like, different stuff just came out at the same time. So how did I deal with it? I don't think I dealt with it a lot too much, but I realized that people will judge you with how you look. Like, I was completely a different person when I was like bald and with acne, and now with no acne and not bald, it's like completely two different people. And even when you go to the bank, for example, the guy treats you differently, bro. The guy literally treats you differently. Yeah. But I realized that like it doesn't really matter like how people treat you. I might become bald in the future. I actually might. All of my uncles are bald, so I'm trying to build my body.
Tate is bald.
Tate is bald. I'm trying to build my physique so that when I'm bald, I'm not gonna look like ridiculous.
How to make time for sleep, gym, and passions? 2
things. Every single night before you go to sleep, you have to write things down. You have to say, from 9 to 6, I'm going to be at the job. I'm going to be back at like 6:30. And then I'm going to go to the gym until like 7:30. Like, you have to write your day out. Because when you don't write your day out, what's going to happen is you're going to come back from the job. You're going to be really tired. You're going to take a 30-minute nap. And that nap is going to be like 2 hours. And then when you wake up from the nap, you're going to feel like shit. And then you're not going to do anything for the rest of the day. Instead, you have to literally plan the day out with timelines, like time block your day. Say, I'm going to wake up at 5, I'm going to do this, and then that, and then that, and then go to the job. And then, when you have that plan, you have to implement that plan like it's your religion. Like, you have the plan right, you don't think, you don't question the plan, you just do it. And then, you actually have time for a lot of stuff.
Pakistani chat, probably our number 3 viewer for the last 2 years. Asked, when you are on vacations, and he sees that you are on vacations a lot because he is a follower on Instagram. You can also follow here on Instagram. How do you keep this thing going? How do you keep the YouTube channel going when you are on vacation?
Yeah, you can't, bro. Like, that's the thing. Like, that's my problem, I guess.
One option would be, we don't do it, but would be if you could have an archive of videos and you could just publish them when you're on a vacation. But that doesn't really work because we're lazy.
Yeah, like when you have the archive of videos. By the way, we gotta start the archive right now because when in the process of moving to Germany,
yeah, it's gonna be very hard.
It's gonna be difficult, so we have to have the archives right now. So.
Or just there will be no videos on the channel for 2 months.
No, there will be videos on the channel, and also there will be a lot of like vlogs because from now on the channel's approach is gonna be much different. But we'll talk about it later. Yeah.
How to stay awake even if you feel sleepy. And he asked for no coffee, please.
How to stay awake?
Just sleep well in the night, I guess.
Yeah, at night when you sleep 8-9 hours, you don't really have that problem too much when you're throughout the day. Like, if you're in a cramming session for an exam, I don't know. But except, like, you gotta take your rest well, 8-9 hours of sleep every single night, and then outside of that, you don't have to do much.
How to get out of the phase of self-improvement where you fail and fail and fail all over again?
How to get out of that phase?
I think if you just continue, you.
That's me last week, bro. So how do you fail in self-improvement? Like, I understand not making gym progress. I understand not making progress in your YouTube channel. I understand not making progress in your business. I can understand failing in your business as well, but how do you fail in self-improvement?
Just you don't do your habits, or you just
mean that?
Masturbate all day. I think if you just continue your self-improvement, it will go away.
Also you gotta learn the tactics. Like, if you cannot really do the habits consistently, you gotta have a habit trigger. You gotta have a person who's keeping you accountable. You gotta have systems. Maybe you have to do yourself like a challenge of, I'm gonna meditate, journal, and read every single day for the next 30 days. That's the challenge. Like, use these tactics, and you will be consistent. If you're failing all the time, then find a way where you don't fail.
And also another question about habits: how to start developing a reading habit? Just a reading habit, not
the reading habit. Yeah. Get yourself something that you will enjoy. Get yourself something that you enjoy / that's gonna add value to your life. And if you've tried something, for example, you want to start reading finance books, and you start reading finance books, and then you just get bored, and then you just stop. Then maybe don't start with finance books. Start with fiction novels, and then actually build the habit of reading with fiction novels, and then slowly transition into finance books. It's gonna be basically always you progressively overload. You cannot start reading for 2 hours a day every single day. Like, I don't do that, for example. But you can get a fiction book and you can read 5 pages a day every single night before you go to sleep. And then after you have built that habit, you can bump up that to slowly to 20 pages. And then you can start the finance book, or like a book that's gonna add value to your life, and then start again with 5 pages. Slowly but surely increase that, and that's going to be slowly a habit that you do every single day. The important thing is that you do that every single day consistently, instead of reading 4 hours a day and then not touching a book for the next 1 month. If that makes sense, because that's the habit. A habit is what you need.
Right. Another very good question. How to be in a good mood in a bad situation? How to smile when you're sad?
You don't have to smile when you're sad. I think that's the thing about being a man, right? You will be in bad situations. You will be in a situation where your hands are like tied. I'm not gonna talk about like experiences right now, but last week was terrible for me. Last week was terrible for me. I cried like 2 times last week, and the last time I cried was like years ago. Like, my hands were tied, right? And in that situation, you can't be too emotional. You can't be. I couldn't, but you can't be too emotional. You have to approach the situation with strategic things. Why are you sad? Are you sad because you didn't get the proper grade you wanted in the exam? Yeah, study more, study harder, study more carefully, study with better strategies. Are you sad because your girlfriend dumped you? Yeah, because probably she probably found someone better. Improve yourself, become better. Why are you sad? Because you saw someone who was making much more progress than you in the gym. Yeah, train harder. Like, focus on your meals better. Like, you have to approach the situation strategically. You don't have to be, you can be sad, but you can't be not taking action. Sad about things, no problem. You can feel emotions, but at the same time you have to be stoic when it comes to taking action. That's basically it.
That's a good answer. And it's a little personal, but how to get rid of the stutters in English? Like, I do have as well. Like, for example, R in English and like...
I don't know.
Yeah, well, I have stutters, but I don't know the solution, so I still stutter, and he doesn't have, so he doesn't know the solution.
I don't know, to be honest.
How important is God in your life?
Ideally, it's the most important thing, and when someone asks you a question like this, you say it's the most important thing. I think the thing that's more important is how much do you practice that, though. Because you can say like that's very, very important. You can say to a girl, "I love you so much. I'm not gonna leave you at all. Like, I value you so much," and then talk shit behind her back. And then, like, how do you love her then? Like, and when it comes to religion, you might say I'm really religious. I think God is the most important thing in my life. But then if you don't practice too much, like, then what's the point? And I think personally, I haven't practiced religion too much. Not too much. Not enough. Over the last couple of months and years, and I'm getting back to that. So when I'm answering this question, I'm going to say, yeah, God is the most important thing in my life, but I need to show that in my practice as well, which I'm going to do.
Ibrahim here asked how to blow up a YouTube channel.
How to blow up a YouTube channel. If I knew how to blow up a YouTube channel, we would have been making the 500,000 Q&A, not the 50K Q&A maybe. I don't know, unfortunately.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'10" actually. No, I'm not lying. I'm actually 5'10".
Okay.
I'm 178 centimeters, and I think that's 5'10".
Okay, I'm not gonna calculate that. I'm 16. Okay, so we talked about the monk mode and how you could just leave the world, you cut off yourself from the world, going to the woods and just writing, journaling until the wolves come and eat you. But there's a friend who says, how can you go into the monk mode where you already feel like you achieved a lot and you don't need to go harder? I think it's a very, very hard situation to be in. I
don't want to shit on the guy, but if you are writing to a 50,000 subscriber like YouTuber, I have already achieved a lot in life. Like, what did you achieve?
By the way, he has been a subscriber since we had 2,000 subscribers, so please just don't make him leave the channel.
So, I went to the top high school in my country. He did too. We were like classmates, right? And we went to top universities in like Europe. And then we have this YouTube channel. We have this going on. We are trying to build our physiques, but it's not like I ask a question of. If I'm asking a question to someone who I kind of like look up to, I'm not gonna say I've already achieved too much in life. Like, have you? And if you have, do you have the time to ask me like a question? I don't know. I don't think he says like I've achieved a lot and you're dumb. I think he says I feel like there is no
I don't think we've achieved enough, or like even people who have actually achieved a lot of stuff, they don't say like I've achieved enough. He doesn't say I've achieved enough. He says I feel like I have achieved a lot. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I think he has a wrong perception. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you got to change your perspective. Yeah. Like Tate can come here and say, I feel like I've achieved a lot, and I would say, yeah, I respect that. But like other people, I don't know. Like I will never come in front of the camera and say I feel like I've achieved a lot. Maybe 5 years from now, if I have like a really successful YouTube channel, if I've actually built a life that I'm really proud of, I might say that. But right now, like, am I in a position to say that? Yeah, I feel like I've achieved a lot. If I said that on YouTube, people would be like, yeah, that guy thinks he's someone. And there are a lot of questions about university and why, what made you to decide to study economics, and
Econ.
why at the university you chose. And some guy asked, why don't you study in the UK, because it's expensive. But yeah, why economics?
So here's the deal.
And why Ludwig Maximilians University Munich?
My school is like a German school. Our school was like a German school, so we had the option to study in like Germany, Turkey, and
Switzerland,
Austria, like these are countries.
And Holland and Belgium.
So we don't have the option to, for example, for UK. I might have applied for the GCSEs and like went on that long way, but like why would I? Like I have the German universities.
No, we had the option, but they're not free. Like
German universities
I could
free.
go to Oxford. Like my points were enough to go to Oxford, but it's freaking £120,000 per year.
Yeah, also like what the university I'm going to go to is a top-ranked university in Europe, and also it's free. At the same time, it's a very like cultural one, traditional one, not cultural one, traditional one. And why that university? Because I love the city of Munich more than the other cities. It's a little more expensive. That's like a downside of it. But when I heard I even heard like from like Tates saying, yeah, Munich is a good city, for example. And that university is like a traditional one, I would say, that I liked. At the same time, I've looked into other universities, and the economic study in other universities were like not the best. So I was like, yeah, this one is highly, really good ranked, really respected, free. Yeah, why else? And why economics? One, I love it. Two, I don't want to study something that's close to engineering, even though I was also really into that for some time. The reason why I don't want to do that is because I'm gonna do full-time YouTube whilst doing like other stuff behind it. Like I have like a lot of outsourced work, a lot of like YouTube work, some coaching, and when I do that, I won't be able to study for like those incredibly difficult math questions. Like I don't want to do that. Like I want to be like lightheaded, a little econ like this, and then just done with university.
Another question from the Kaizen. How do you raise your little brother in accordance to self-improvement?
So I think I'm not doing a good job when it comes to raising my brother in accordance to self-improvement. Whenever he is on electronic devices too much, whenever he has a phone, he has like the tablet and stuff like that, in a sense, I generally take it away. I'm that type of like older brother. I generally take it away directly. Well, no. But I think I should do a much better job when it comes to raising him. I think I should, for example, take him with me when I'm going to the gym. He's not going to exercise, he is 10, but he's going to be with me, for example, when I'm doing that. He's going to see his older brother do that. Or when I am going for a walk, for example, he can come with me. Or I should push him to read more Quran, read more books, study harder and stuff like this, but I don't think I'm doing a really good job when it comes to that, which I should probably get improved at.
Another question related to the family topics, and he says, how to express your masculinity in a fatherless way? That's a very tough question.
I think you should be the man you're supposed to be. You should be the man that's masculine and who is achieving things. But at the same time, outside of that, I don't have much experience. I'm not going to answer the question too much. I don't have much experience. I've never been in the fatherless home. So I would say become the man you're supposed to become. Be more masculine. Go to the gym. Do things even when you don't feel like it. Make money. Take care of people. Get responsibility from other people and actually deliver on that responsibility. And that's what you should do.
About universities. Again, do you think people should go to university even if they don't really know what they want to do?
Universities are a great option when you don't know what you want to do. You want to meet a lot of people, you can study whatever you want. However, if you know what you have to do, if you know what you want to do, and you can take the risk, for example, you can take the leap, universities are not really that needed. For example, I could not go to university right now and actually build a successful business out of my YouTube channel, which probably would be a better option or like a shorter way to success 5 years from now when I look back. However, I'm still going to go to university because it's going to be at a different country than mine. It's going to be a completely different like I would say experience right now, and I do think that that's going to add so much to my life. I've never lived alone with myself like outside of my parents' house. I'm going to be able to do that, and even though I might drop out from university maybe without finishing my degree because my YouTube channel took off, I might do that. I think that's going to add so much experience to me because of the fact that I have this interesting situation where I'm going to be studying in Germany instead of Turkey. But if you know exactly what you want to do, you want to start that business, go explain to your parents that you're going to do this, you're going to actually do something with your life without going to university, take a gap year and actually show your parents results of success, proof of success, and they're going to be okay with that. But if you just tell them, I want to do this, I want to do that, like a monkey chasing dopamine, and then not do anything, and then not want to go to university, then that's not logical.
And did your family have anything to do with your university decision? And
For example,
why do you go to the uni instead of working on your video editing business?
I don't have the video editing business. So,
Yeah.
my parents want me to go to university. Yes. And when I told them I was going to take a gap year, they were like, yeah, you just go to university. But I explained to them exactly what I was going to do, and they were like, okay, makes sense. And then I decided that I want to go to university because I don't want to waste like 1 year of gap year, because I felt like if I stayed in Turkey for one more year, because of some life situations that I don't want to explain too much, I don't think I would have made too much progress in my life. So I do think if I go to university this year and add so much life experience to my life, that's going to be overall much better. That's what I've decided, to go to university, even though I don't really want to be in lecture halls listening to professors too much. That's the idea behind that. And for the person who said, why don't you grow your video editing business? I don't have a video editing business. The reason why he's asking that, or she's asking that, is because he or she saw me edit someone else's videos, who was a friend of mine, and he pays me for his course edit, which is like a not small thing. I don't have like a video editing business.
Yeah. A very good question. Why don't you ever consider going on runs as part of your exercise?
I think, like, what I decided last week is, after every push session, I'm gonna run for like, not run, like do cardio for like 15-20 minutes, small cardio. And then after every pull session, I'm gonna do abs. So I'm gonna add those slowly into my routine as well, because I think I need them, because I think I'm getting a little too much fat. So I think, yeah, I'm gonna add slowly cardio into my exercise routine as well. Like 2-3 times a week, just like 15-20 minutes. So in tops, 1 hour a week. Nothing, but 1 hour a week is gonna like shave off some little body fat.
There are a few, not a few actually, a lot of people who are asking, why don't you just do vlog style videos and challenges, like for example the video with eating 6 hamburgers, or the 1 week video challenge was amazing, said someone, and I think they don't know that he will do.
Yeah, that's the thing, like that's gonna be like everything from now on. Like that's gonna be the thing from now on. Because I've thought hard about this, and I think this style of creating vlogs that are a little maybe fun, but all about self-improvement, from a personality that people can enjoy, people can love, is not something that has been done on YouTube ever. But giving advice and talking about like, oh, discipline, phone addiction, all this has been done so much, bro. Has been done so much.
There are a few questions about how to improve your writing skills while learning English or any other, actually,
I have a
language.
shitload of videos about like how to learn English. You can just directly go and check them out. And when it comes to writing, just like any other skill, you get better at writing by practice. You practice, get better. But when you're practicing, you don't practice blindly. You practice and then you get feedback. Use a tool like Grammarly, or like a tool, the AI tool that helps you like write better, and then get feedback, learn from it, write more, and you're gonna get better. With any other skill.
Just ask ChatGPT. It's totally free. You don't have to pay for Grammarly and stuff. Just write something and then ask ChatGPT to review it and tell you your mistake. It's a very good hack.
AI, life changer, bro. AI,
Yeah.
completely fucking life changer, bro.
Sergio Ramos or someone like that.
Sergio, there's a fucking footballer, bro.
Ask, what role does friendship and brotherhood and comradeship, or I mean, whatever you call it, play in the life of a young man, 23-year-old, like he's 23-year-old, but it doesn't really matter what age you have, in self-improvement.
Friendships, role. I think your friend group is going to be the thing that makes or breaks you. If you have a friend group that's very, as Hamza would call it, Jeffrey-wise, like people who don't do much, people who don't try to achieve anything in life, people who don't have ambitions, who don't have goals, you are inevitably going to become like them. But if you have friends that are pushing you so much, like imagine a friend group they all go to the gym, and you are the person who is in the worst shape, like in all of the friend group. You have to push yourself so much freaking harder to become to stop becoming the person like that. And if you choose your friend group carefully, and if you essentially pick people who are thinking like you, maybe in some ways, like you can get someone, for example, in my life, I don't have someone who understands it all, but I have someone, for example, when it comes to fitness, who understands everything about fitness when it comes to my life. Or I have someone, for example, Halil, he understands everything about the business, for example, with me. And I have someone who understands everything about the relationship. But currently, for example, I don't have someone who understands it all with everything. Maybe you can't find that person yet as well. But you have to surround yourself with people who are in better than you in some cases. For example, I have a friend called Beas. He plays the guitar. I can't. He's been teaching me for some time, and I'm getting better at it very fast. Why? He's been teaching me. So your friends and brotherhoods are like, brotherhood is going to be the thing that makes it or breaks it. You don't play that a lone wolf. It's not enjoyable. It's not cool as it sounds. Have people in your life that understand you. Have shoulders that you can cry on. As a man, have like brothers you can cry with. Have people who will understand you, who will respect you, who will like support you in any other way, and that's the meaning of life.
I think generally being alone is not a good choice, and I think it's not a choice. A lot of people who are alone are saying, "Oh, I'm alone because I don't like any of people. I am just the best. I am incredible." No, you just don't have a good friend, or you're a shitty friend, so all your friends left you. So find at least 2 very good friends, and maybe spend your life with them, and marry one friend. That is not male.
Gay meter.
No. Yeah. Find a very good female friend and marry her. Yeah. As we are on the topic of marriage, what are the best and favorite values your parents have taught you?
What does this have when it comes to marriage, bro? I think I'm gonna say one thing, and that thing was, I'm gonna tell you guys a story, my friends. So when I was in the 1st and 2nd grade, we'd have these like exams every single month. Every single month, one exam, right? And in that exam, we had like 60 to 80 to 90 to 100 multiple choice questions. This is gonna fucking die, bro. What
Okay, let's do ASMR.
If you died shooting this video, I would publish this, bro, and this would get millions of views.
No problem.
And if I didn't answer every single one of those questions correctly, like if I didn't get 100 on that exam, I wouldn't be able to play video games like for an hour. And the deal was, if my mom spoke English, she would actually tell the story for us. I would get the allowance to play video games for 1 hour, not every day, every month, like 1 hour a month. 1 hour a month, bro, like not 1 hour a day, 1 hour, no, 1 hour a month. And that was only if I got 100% in that one exam. And I remember once, I had like 60 questions, I answered 59 correctly, 59 multiple choice questions correct, 1 wrong, and I was like half correct in that one. I was like, but it makes sense like this as well. And I told my mom, and I asked my mom, can I play 30 minutes of video games this month? Because I just made one mistake. She was like, no. No.
Get wrecked, boy!
No, like simply no. So I think that taught me excellence. Like you have to be, not perfect, but you have to be excellent in a way where you have to be the best. You simply have to be the best. And they taught me this in an academical sense, but now I'm using that in every other area of my life.
What are your favorite hobbies? Except for fitness things.
I don't have hobbies, man. I don't get to have hobbies. I do my work, I spend time with people I love, I go to the gym, I do kickboxing, I do these things, and I don't have much time left. What are my hobbies? Like, what do you think as a friend of mine? What are my hobbies?
Just scrolling on reels.
I don't scroll on reels too much. I do my work, and aside of that, like, I don't have much time left.
Okay, if you say so. I mean, if your work can be your hobby, if you
yeah, like I enjoy my work. So
nice,
like this is my work for today, right? We're recording this video, and I have recorded like a couple of more videos today. So like I'm just chilling, bro. This is my work.
Yeah, pretty nice, huh? Was there any motivational figures or like role models as an individual that helped you realize your purpose?
I'm gonna answer this question in a really different way. So a lot of people are gonna say, "Oh, it was Tate, it was this person, it was that person." Bro, I have this image in my head of myself, the perfect version, like the perfect version, and that guy is like much different than me, and I'm striving to be like him every single day, and he behaves much differently than me. Incredibly disciplined, no days off in nothing, not cheating, for example, in any meals. Like all these things, right? That's the perfect version. I look up to him. I don't have like a person that I say, yeah, I look up to that guy. I kind of like look up to that perfect version of myself. And in my head, and when I'm listening to music, like I'm imagining myself as him. When I'm in the gym, I'm trying to behave like him. When I'm like, when I'm with my girlfriend, I'm trying to behave like the perfect version of myself. When I'm sitting here and recording videos, I generally won't be able to, I can't really do this all the time, but like I try to behave like him. And I think that's my role model.
Okay, I think the religion makes it pretty easy for you to have a role model because you
Yeah,
have a
you have the
prophet.
prophets, right? Yeah.
And the fact that you the fact that that prophet is not a god is not a very different being than a human. Like,
But that depends on the religion.
yeah, but
In
yeah,
Christianity,
okay.
you have the Jesus
Yeah,
God.
the Trinity, the whole Trinity. Yeah, the whole Trinity makes
In
not a lot
Islam.
of sense to me, but I still respect everyone.
Islam, you
But
have-
in Islam, it really helps, you know, because the Prophet is just like a human. He also made very small mistakes, and you could think, what would he do when he were in my place?
In my scenario.
In my
My
scenario,
shoes.
and you could get a perfect answer just from your head. And also, I have also the perfect version of myself in my head, and his name is aydoganahmetkaan. Eugene asked, I feel like he feels like he is doing a lot of things, but at the same time, nothing. What's going on and how to solve the question?
Okay, that's probably the best question out there because that's the one that I'm struggling with for a long time. So, if I tried to tell you guys everything that I was trying to do, like that would have been like a lot of stuff. Like I had the coaching, the YouTube channel, the outside of work for that. I have like 2 clients that I work for. Personal life, I'm trying to get better at like playing the guitar, the kickboxing, the driving. I'm trying to get better at driving as well. And then I have the fitness. And when it comes to fitness, you have the gym as well as you have the diet. You have the sleep. You have like the supplements, and like you forget to take your creatine daily. I could like say 20 more different things, right? And when you're trying to make progress in every single one of them, that's the mistake I made for a long time, and I still make this mistake. Because of the fact that I have to go to university in like 2 months and I have to get like some stuff done before I go. And the mistake is you're trying to focus on a lot of stuff, so when you're trying to make progress in a lot of things, and that ends up being no progress in all of them. So instead, what I should do personally, what you should do personally is literally pick one main thing and one secondary thing. And that's what you're going to improve for the next 6 months, for example. And in those 6 months, you want to try to maximize that thing. When it comes to fitness, you want to maximize your fitness as much as possible that you can do in 6 months. Obviously, you're not going to get to your like natural limits in like 6 months. What I'm trying to say is you have to perfect that in those 6 months for yourself. When it comes to your business, if your goal is to, for example, if my goal is to grow my YouTube channel, right, I should upload 2 to 3 the journey videos, the vlogs, well-made vlogs, every single week for the next 6 months. Why don't I do that? Like, I ask myself that, and I'm a dumbass, because that's why. Or for example, if you picked your academic career, and then your fitness, right? That's like most students probably. Do your academic career well, like actually study well, at the same time, focus on your fitness, right? But don't go into these other things, like don't go into these school clubs, don't try to learn at the same time other skills, like build those stuff, like in 2 years, just to a good point, and then can move much faster.
Another question about religion is, why don't you consider showing the Islamic part of your life? MashaAllah, you have a strong fan base, you have a strong audience, and you could be a good influence.
Yeah, that's what I answered like a couple of minutes ago, a couple of questions ago. I'm gonna show that part of my life much more from now on. Not much more from now on, like it's not gonna be like that channel type of channel. I'm gonna make 2 videos like that.
I'm gonna be Mufti Menk.
I'm gonna make 2 videos kind of like about that. I have the idea of that. But outside of that, like that's a part of my life, and I'm gonna be more realistic in my vlogs, more like showing in my vlogs. And because of the fact that I'm gonna show more things in my life, that's gonna be one of the things that I show more.
What to do when you are tired of unnecessary work, like school, like writing work or house chores? Like, how can you keep your motivation to do those unnecessary
You don't
things?
need motivation. You just realize that this question is coming from a place of an inferior mind, right? Well, not a superior mind. Look, if you're asking me a question like I can't do this, like how do I do this? You're not asking like you want to learn. You're like kind of like complaining about this, to be honest. And you don't want to do that. Like you have to realize that there are people who are doing more than you, even though you're feeling tired for doing X amount of work. There are people doing 3 times that, and they're not tired. They're still learning more. They're still achieving more things, and those people are gonna win. If you want to let them win, then just be tired and be bored and be like complaining about the stuff that you have. Like I can't say like you can be tired, for example, like. But if I come here and say, yeah, I'm tired, like I'm complaining all the time, like there are people who are achieving much more than me, and I'm complaining here for like the small stuff that I have. Does that make sense, my friends? Does that make sense? No, it does not. So I'm tired from the house chores and like stuff, house chores, like the academic stuff from the school. Yeah, you will be tired, that's life. Keep going, do more, achieve more, get more progress done.
Last question. Do you train your glutes, and why?
I don't train my glutes.
Okay, good. He's a man,
squats,
right.
squats. That's it, boys. And then leg day plan. 3 sets of squats, 5 sets of bench press. Leg day plan. And 3 sets of curls. That's leg day plan.
But leg curls are a thing, so.
No, actual bicep curls. Man curls. Yeah, that's it.
No, don't skip leg day, bro.
Don't skip leg day, bro.
Or just wear Muslim shorts, so that your hamstrings, your weak quads don't show. I don't have weak quads, actually.
That's not the topic of the video.
Anyways, okay.
Alright, these were your questions at 50k subscribers, and we're gonna do this Q&A again when we have
100k.
100k subscribers. Yeah, not that 75k. 100k subscribers. It might take a while because I'm not gonna try to go viral or like make viral videos. I'm gonna document my journey, and I know that maybe for the next 2 years my channel's not gonna blow up. But after that, when it blows up, it's gonna be something that's solid. If that's the word, solid. Because I have the backbone of all of these videos that are high quality, they're documenting my journey, and I can show everything to people. It's not like a random guy who blow up. No. That's the promise, my friends. That's the promise. And that was the Q&A, and we'll see you guys in the next one. This was the 25th episode of the Journey